So this last presentation on QA laws, regulations, and documents will be by Carissa Ganapathy. And Carissa joined ARB's Quality Management Branch in 2013. Prior to joining the Quality Management Branch, she worked in both the Mobile Source Division and in the Enforcement Division, where she worked on ARB's Truck Stop website and developed an interactive manual for 13 categories of air pollution control devices. Prior to joining ARB, Carissa worked for 17 years with the California Department of Pesticide Regulation as a laboratory liaison, a QA/QC officer, and she conducted air monitoring studies for pesticide residue. Carissa has a Bachelor of Science degree in Biological Science from the California State University, Sacramento. Carissa's presentation today will be entitled The Office, Episode 3, QA Web Tour.
Good afternoon and welcome back from lunch. How was Drewski's? Was it good? Good. I'm going to summarize this morning's training in just one slide. Earlier today, we learned about the PQAO and how the EPA, ARB, and the districts work together to ensure that monitoring is conducted in a similar manner. We also learned about the laws, regulations, and the documents that govern our air monitoring, which again is for consistency. Let's see if my mouse is going to work. Nope. Hold on a second. Oh, look at this screen here. Oops. No, it doesn't want to come off of there. Next. Oh, thank you. Hopefully I'll get this right on the next one. Not following consistent procedures and practices may lead to bad data. Since our data is pooled, this affects everyone, even these guys. They're going to sink. One way to sum up this morning is to say, we are all in this together. Let's see, click. Mine's got a different clicker, so bear with me. Let's see. I might need help, James. Next. If I just click next, okay. All right. Before I get started, can you guys raise your hands if you've been to the Quality Assurance website or web page? Oh, lots of you. Okay. Well, it changed, I think, a couple days before Memorial Day weekend. So there's been some changes, and we've expanded it. So for this portion of the presentation, I will give you all a tour of the available resources on the web, including our newly improved Quality Assurance web page. And next. Nope. Okay. Oh, here we go. We missed that. Oh, and in other words, I missed a slide, but make sure you have your third cup of coffee ready. Right now, I'm going to go to the ARB website, and then I'm going to quickly make some suggestions for navigating it. Because I'm doing a tour, I'm going to be multitasking, so you have to bear with me, and I'm using a different mouse than everyone else, so hopefully this is going to work. The ARB website is really extensive. There are 200,000 web pages and even more PDF documents. A lot of people don't know that. And EPA is probably similar, actually much bigger, I'm sure. Due to this volume, navigation is difficult, but there's ways to find everything. And keep in mind, the site is designed for the public. It's not designed for ARB staff or for the districts, but for the public. So it's kind of set up not the best way for us. But there are three main ways to navigate ARB's website. And I'm just going to show you real quick a few of them. You can take that, let's see, it's a little awkward. If you go to this thing called the mega drop-down, that's what state web designers call it, and you can go to air quality monitoring. You go to air quality up top. Air quality monitoring, you can get to monitoring information. You can also use this A to Z index right here. Let's see if it's going to open. Well, there we go. You can find a lot of information here about our programs, air monitoring included, and regulations. But a lot of people at ARB just type in what they want, and I didn't realize I can't type, so I'm going to go the other way. You could type in air monitoring and get to us, too. So you can go through Air Quality Monitoring Network, and you can go to Air Quality Monitoring Activities. And on this page, you can get to one of the menus that has a lot of related information that you'll need, either on the page or in that left-hand navigation. So now I'm going to go to the Air Quality Assurance webpage, and this will get to the newly unveiled page. So what we did is we compiled everything you might need to operate an air monitoring station into one page, including the quality assurance documents, other resources, who to contact, et cetera. It's all on this one page. And we broke it down accordion style because you know how web pages can get really long and there's a lot of reading. We tried to eliminate a lot of the reading you might have to do to find links, so we've broken it down. For instance, the top portion of the old web page had information about the quality management branch, and so we just put it in here. This will show you what our branch sections are and also how we relate to the monitoring and laboratory division and what branches there are in that division. Then we also have a PQAO section. If you weren't paying attention this morning, you can read again about the PQAO and what it entails. This section here is really helpful and new. Right here we have our new liaisons. You can always contact our managers. You can also contact people you've always contacted at MLD and in other parts of ARB. But you also have a new resource, and that's the liaisons, myself. And actually, if you guys could stand up, we have Greg Galani right here, and Darcy Godo, you met earlier, and Maria Solomon in the back. We're here to help you guys. Call us, and, I'm new, so I'll be learning the information, and it helps me learn. But we can also run around and ask questions and get back to you, or have somebody who's an expert contact you. So if you're ever in doubt, look at who your liaison is, or you're welcome to call anybody on this page, and we'll help you out. We always had a list of all the air districts that are part of the PQAO on our webpage, and we have them here as well. But what we did is we thought it would be useful to link to the front of their web pages, so I'm going to pick one of you guys out. How about, let's see, Shasta. So it links to the index page of each air district. So if you need to get a hold of someone there, you can use this page. And it's going to take a bit. I'm going to have to end up using the back arrow, which I can't see. Let's see if I can see it. There we go. It's going to take a while. But anyway, you'll see your air district will be in there too. And also, we have the other PQAOs in California, and you've seen this map before, and these are links to those Bay Area, South Coast, and San Diego, the other PQAOs. Here's sort of the meat of the page, the quality management documents section. And then this first one is the document repository, and I know a lot of you probably saw this in the fall when it was first unveiled, and it's been mentioned by Darcy and also mentioned by Bill. But this houses the documents for other PQAOs, ARB, and the air districts. It has the SOPs, the QA documents like QMPs or QAPPs all in here, and the roles and responsibilities documents. I'm going to open it up here. I should have pressed that sooner. We got a little delay. We're on an air card, so. What you want to do to save time and effort, why reinvent the wheel and write a new SOP? Look at everyone else's SOPs. We've said this before, but we can't say it enough. Look in there. It's not cheating. We're not in college. We're not in high school. Look at their SOP and save yourself time. Or you can write an addendum, because if you only have minor changes, it's a lot easier. I kind of visualize it as like your get-out-of-jail-free card from Monopoly. If you write an addendum, it's way easier. And it's easier on us because it takes less review time. But I do recommend that you contact us first before doing that, because we want to make sure that the SOP you're using is adequate and to give you some pointers. But in here, I'm not going to open the SOPs. I was going to open them for particulate matter, but we showed it earlier. You'll see all the other air districts in there. Some of them are pending. Some of them show that they're using ARB's SOPs. I would like you guys to take a look in there. If we're missing any of your SOPs and they've been approved, please send them to us, and we'll put them on there. And we also have the link to the addendum. This is a Word document, so it'll take a bit to open it up. And we also showed an example earlier, so I'm just I would open them up right now, but we might have to wait. And in the example shown in Bill's slides, you'll see the addendum form is easy to fill out. In the Word document, it expands for as much as you need to show that your procedure is different than the one that the SOP, for instance, that you're using. So go ahead and do that. And I hit the back arrow. It's a little bit off the screen. So that's the document repository. The next section is our Quality Assurance Manual, which is the 6 volumes that describe ARB's Quality Assurance Program. These were described earlier as well. We have the Quality Management Plan, which came out last summer. We had the Volume 2, which is the Operating Procedures for Air Quality Monitoring. I like to think of this as a little bit like EPA's Volume 2. It's got citing and stuff like that, but it's the California version. We have ARB's laboratory SOPs. We have monitoring methods for state ambient air quality standards. That's kind of a long title, but this is like the California approved samplers list. Bill touched on that a bit earlier, too. If you want to know about performance audits, look in Volume 5. And this last one's not really related to ambient air quality monitoring. It's more like for continuous emissions monitors testing. And I remember this back when I was in enforcement, So one of the things we noticed is that it was kind of confusing, and it was for me as a new employee to this section, is that Quality Assurance Manual and Air Monitoring Web Manual sounded the same, and it got confusing. And the Air Monitoring Web Manual, a lot of you have probably been to it already. That was on the left-hand navigation is how you get to it, but we added a link here as well, so it's just another link. And that one is this one here you've seen. It's really well done. It's got the tables set up many different ways, but it's got the SOPs, maintenance, calibration, acceptance test procedures, and technical bulletins available for all the equipment used at ARB. And some of the tables you could just click on by the pollutant type, and you'll see the instruments too. So really, really well done. And here is the requirements, guidance, and review checklists. On the left, we have the checklist from ARB that you saw earlier, and those guidances, the Gs and the Rs over here for EPA. We have quality assurance reports for precision and accuracy results and data quality reports linked here. We also have EPA's quality assurance handbooks. That's volume 2 and 4 that were mentioned earlier. These are the ones right here and right here. These are linked to EPA's website. They are the official original documents, but they're really, really large documents. So, and I'm going to click on this right now while I talk about it because it might take a minute to come up. Actually, it's going to come up fast. Because they're so big, and I don't know about you guys, but I hate scrolling through PDF documents, and it kind of makes you nauseous. You're going up and down. We added an overlay to the top to make it an index. And depending on the browser, it looks different. Right now, sometimes it's underlined, sometimes there's a rectangle. It's an add-on product, but the links work. So like if you needed to know about tower wiring, for instance, you just click on tower wiring, and there you are. So, and if EPA updates these documents, we'll have to pull them off or redo them. But for now, this is really convenient. And you'll see later, if you were using a cell phone, this would help a lot because it'd be impossible on a mobile device. And I think I need my back arrow. Oops. Similarly, for the Code of Federal Regulations, we now have those linked on our page, 50, 53, and 58. But with Part 58, there's those huge appendices at the end. A lot of it has to do with the field portion of this. And I know Gwen mentioned Appendix A, and I noticed like Appendix E has a lot. I'm going to scroll down. It's hard to scroll slow. But what we did was we indexed the appendices. So they're pretty well indexed on the federal site, but this one just takes you to the top of the appendices. So if you needed to know spacing from trees for your air monitoring station, you click on it, you're there. So we developed all these things to save you time and effort. And the beauty of this that I like, and managers might like too, is if you needed to show somebody this, you could copy the URL. It has the bookmark, and you can put it in an email, and they would be right to it right then and there. You don't have to tell them, go look in 58. So it's a good tool. In the next section, we have audits, information about performance audits, technical system audits, and the TSA questionnaire that Bill mentioned. Again, we can self-assess with that and before we show up. And then the things you may not like so much, the corrective action notification here and the air quality data action. We have information about that, and this one includes the CAN form and the CAN SOP. In services and resources, we have the standards laboratory. This is where you want to go for your calibration, your verification of standards needs. Click on there, and you can get to that. And hopefully I'm not missing anything because I don't know where I'm at in my notes. And we also have a new section on training. Includes information about these modules and ones that are coming up. And we also have links to online training that's provided by Air Resources Board, some from our enforcement division, and also from EPA. And this is a good resource for your new employees if they want to know just general air quality information, laws and regulations, et cetera. Sometimes you just want to get them into it. This would be a good spot they can click on these links. I'm going to go over this section a little more in depth because these are the new resources we've created. A lot of them came about because of this training. It kind of made us think, what would make it easy for the districts? How can we make it easy to do the things the way we need to all do it to make sure we're all consistent? And one of them is to provide a comprehensive reference guide. And my coworker, Maria, worked on this. She listed all the categories, and they're all hyperlinked to the spot. And in fact, if it's something in EPA Handbook 2, it links right to the spot in EPA Handbook 2. It's really convenient. It goes on and on. It's all categorized. Residence time, if you click on here, it's going to take you right into the exact location. It also has information like where the SIPs are located and all that. Anything that's not on our quality assurance website is on this page. And it also has contacts of, I think it's primarily ARB and EPA contacts in the back here. Okay. And let's go back again. It's hard, I can't see this arrow, but it's working. Okay. I'm going to reopen that. Quality assurance definitions. Maria also compiled these, and we had a lot of reviewers for the stuff that we make, and we appreciated all the reviews we got for the summaries and everything. It was fabulous. And this has all the quality assurance definitions we could think of, and they were reviewed, and so there's 16 pages. So there's a lot that we all have to know. So if you hear something you've never heard of before or you don't know what it is, click on here. It also includes some hyperlinks too. Okay. And some of these might be good if you print them out, but a lot of people are using stuff online. Here's the summaries for the laws and regulations that you all were handed out in front of you this morning. There's hyperlinks in this too. So if you wanted to know more about SIPs or EPA, or if you can't sleep at night, go to our website, start surfing, and you're sure to pass out. I'm actually, you guys know what it looks like. You got it in front of you, so I'm going to go back. We're all about saving time. We have our new quality assurance mobile webpage, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. We have a link to ARB's IADM for air quality data statistics here. How many of you guys have gone to EPA's AMTIC site? I bet a lot more than who's raising their hand. This is the Ambient Monitoring Technology Center that EPA provides. It's very much like our webpage. Lots of information, probably even more about your networks, et cetera, training that's available. It's a really, really valuable resource. I've used it a lot since I started here. And a link to AQS. That's where it all goes. And if you want to get on the PQAO listserv, it's right here. It's open to the public, so probably don't send out that much information this way, but once in a while we do, so you can always sign up there. Okay, I'm going to go back to my presentation. Let's see if it's... Here we go. Okay. All right. I don't know if this will work, but if some of you have your cell phones and want to try QR code from the distance, we tested it, and I think Droids work better than iPhones. You have to be pretty close for an iPhone. But this is a QR code that gets you to the new mobile website. And what we did was we made this website much simpler and easier to use. And this QR code will get you there. QR code reader takes like 3 minutes to download, and it's easy to use. Or you can type in the URL or surf your way in. But if you do go in with the QR code, I just want to warn you, the QR code has a browser, but it's not very good. So move it into your browser, like Safari, for instance, and it'll work pretty well for you. And then one more thing with that is that the great thing about this is that if you take it from Safari, for instance, from your browser, you add it to the home screen of your phone, then it's going to work like an application. So it's not really an app, but it's kind of like one. And I'm going to go to that page. So here it is. We have the heading. We have the font in a little bit bigger size. You can read it on a phone. We don't have the left-hand navigation to simplify it. We have links named more intuitively. So for instance, for SOPs, we have the Air Monitoring Web Manual. It's named like this, you can see. For the document repository SOPs, those are those district and PQAO and ARB SOPs. That's right here. We have EPA's Handbooks Volume 2 and 4. That's the index version. And as long as you have a PDF reader on your phone, you can use it and get to stuff right away. So if you're in the field and you're like, what do I don't know, I forgot to bring my 50-page printout or 200-page printout. We can get to it. It's a little bit of work, but if you have this on your phone already, that half the battle is getting to the page. So, and we also have Part 58. That's, again, the index version. So you can see how far you can be from a tree. Standards Laboratories here again. A link back to our quality assurance webpage. Some of those same resources are here that I just showed you from the page before. And something new we've added to this page is a checklist provided by Phil Wagner. And this is clickable for, if you want to just go down this list of what you need in the field, you can use it. And it works on a phone, too. We also have that 2014 particulate matter sampling schedule. And you guys probably know what it looks like because it's probably going to take a while to load. It's colorful. We have conversion calculators. That's probably pretty handy in the field. A declination calculator. Heat index map. Because I know I'm sure you all have a heat illness prevention program going on, and you have to bring so much water. You might as well look at this in the morning to see, if you can be out in the heat and how much water you're going to need to drink, and if you need to find a bathroom or not. And if you're really accurate, we have the NIST clock linked here too. One good thing about this page is the same stuff that's usable on a phone that you might like to have on your phone in the field would be usable or very useful on your computer in your air monitoring station. And I know most stations have it, and it's online. We have the correction action notification form here. We have the 2 residence time calculators, and Laura will be talking about those, I think, tomorrow. They're Excel files, so they don't open on a phone. And we also have a link to the air quality system, which I tried. It doesn't work on a phone, and it would be too annoying. So it's here. It's available. And we're working on these all the time. So if you think of anything that'd be really useful in the field to have on here, we can link it up. Same goes for the quality assurance webpage. Anything we're missing, let us know. We can add it to the appropriate place. So back to my presentation. The next slide. Okay. So by now you've drank so much coffee to stay awake. through the laws, the regulations, and the documents. I have two. And I have a plan to cut back on the number of cups I drink per day, like this guy. Only things I might have to bring my laptop into the bathroom or something. Seriously, though, rather than drinking a gallon of coffee or adding anything stronger, if you need assistance with quality assurance or air monitoring, just contact us or our managers. We're here to help. Thank you. You guys have any questions?